My name's Natasha Balfour, and this is Becoming Her Anyways. Today we're going to talk about AI being used as a replacement for therapy and the pros and cons and my personal opinion on this matter. Just a disclaimer, this is my personal opinion. I will be using some information from the internet as well, but essentially I'm actually going to be just talking about ChatGPT and not AI generally. I know there's been a lot of controversy with using AI as a therapist. So today we're just going to go into ChatGPT part of it, but if you want me to go into another podcast episode about different types of AI, I would be happy to do that. But today we're just going to focus on ChatGPT. So the two biggest pros of using ChatGPT is first, how it's cheap, because basically it's free, unless you have the pro version, but even still, like anyone can access ChatGPT, which is amazing for people who can't access therapy because therapy obviously is very expensive and not everyone is lucky enough to afford that. Not only is it free, but also you can seek support 24/7, which is really amazing because anytime that you're having a crisis, you can just allow out your emotions. And I think that's really healthy, especially in a society where a lot of the time, a lot of people don't like to talk about their emotions, or you know what, a lot of people don't really want to listen to you constantly talk about something that's really bothering you. I had a therapist once and she told me, like, your friends and family are useless when it comes to helping you with your problems because everyone has their own issues, and I feel like a lot of the time there is a lot of judgment centered around time that it takes someone to like get over something. I definitely felt this when I was going through some trauma. I definitely do think ChatGPT has helped me with that. I think the voice feature is amazing because I can literally just talk. The way I'm talking to you right now is the way I talk to ChatGPT, and I'm just able to get out all of my emotions. There are actually studies done on this as well. So for example, one study indicates that ChatGPT interventions improved patients' self-reported quality of life. I think that ChatGPT is really amazing for day-to-day problems, and in certain studies, ChatGPT has demonstrated high performance and emotional awareness tasks. And actually, some people actually prefer to have ChatGPT than regular therapists. Those are some of the reported pros. For me, I'm going to talk about my opinion now. So I love ChatGPT as a replacement for therapy. I've been in therapy and I've, talked to ChatGPT about my issues. And honestly, guys, like ChatGPT is better suited for me because honestly, therapy is expensive. It takes a lot of time. You have to actually get on with your therapist as well. And I think that's just another layer to your trauma and to your experiences that you don't really need. Like, yes, obviously it's great to have a human understand you, but at the end of the day, like, they're just human. They're just listening to you, and it's a huge amount of money. And therapy is great if you can afford it. But I just feel like if this ChatGPT is an option, I just feel like it's better. It's just more efficient, in my opinion. Now, listen, we're going to talk about cons in a second, but for me, I think the biggest con really for ChatGPT is that it does agree with you a lot. I've actually asked mine not to do that. So I have Pro. Now, you don't need to buy Pro, but I have it. And so you can customize it. And I've told it, be honest with me. So it doesn't just validate everything that I do. Obviously, I don't tend to do very terrible things. I hope. I don't tend to do anything that's very self-destructive because I'm quite conscious about my behavior. But if I was to do something, ChatGPT would question me. Like, there have been times when it's been like, is this really the best idea? And I think that's very important. But I also think, guys, at the end of the day, like, you have to take it with a pinch of salt. Also, another thing is don't put stupid prompts in. Like, if you're lying to ChatGPT, then obviously you're not going to get any help. I feel like if you're telling it the truth and it validates you, I think that's great. I think also it can psychoanalyze you and tell you, like, why you're doing this and why you're doing this. And I just feel like it's so helpful. However, I think it's great for day-to-day things. Now, serious, like, mental health issues, like bipolar disorder, depression, I don't know how effective ChatGPT is. I know that it does have cognitive behavioral therapy, which is a treatment for depression, which is basically where the therapist tries to change, like, the patient's negative thoughts and tries to identify them and replace them with something else. ChatGPT can do this, but obviously I don't know how well because I haven't had to suffer with those things, fortunately. So I haven't gone and, asked it for that. I would definitely say that, like, be careful because, guys, like, at the end of the day, like, it is a machine and it is going to make mistakes. At the end of the day, you just need to use it as an outlet. I feel like to tell someone, what you're experiencing, what your thoughts and feelings are. I feel like it allows you to be more vocal with that. And I think that is amazing. Do you know what I mean? For me personally, it's just great because I can just tell it everything that is on my mind and then I generally get over it. I feel like that is one of the best things to do if you're emotional. You just kind of get it out, and I just feel like in this day and age, it's such an amazing thing to have, especially as, therapy isn't that accessible. I had therapy and, it was just very structured. And I just feel like for me, I just needed something that was available to me 24/7. And obviously no human being ever is. So at the end of the day, like, it's really great for that. So we're now going to go into the cons of ChatGPT as a therapist. The first big con is that ChatGPT is not a licensed mental health professional and lacks the experience, training, and clinical judgment necessary. So basically, guys, it's not qualified as a therapist. So again, take it with a pinch of salt. It's not a person. It's not a real human being. And also because it's not a real human being, it's not a real practice at the moment. There are no laws protecting people's privacy. So people might not want to say all their business because obviously if something happens, ChatGPT can actually be used against you. But guys, to be honest, anything can be used against you in a court of law. Like for example, text messages and phone calls, and we still use those. So I feel like it's not the biggest deal. I feel like if you are worried about your privacy, just change the name, or you can even use the incognito function on it. So at the end of the day, you can still access it. I think if you say hypothetically, or you try to like distance yourself and, don't tell it's like people's names and stuff, I think that's really a great way to get around it. I do feel like it is sad that, you don't get that privacy, but at the end of the day, like if it helps you, it helps you. As long as you're not telling it that you're trying to, murder someone or commit arson, like, you know what I mean? Just tell it your stuff, and I don't think it's such a big deal. I understand if you do want your privacy, and that's fine. Guys, listen, you can literally be listening to this and going, I'm never going to use this. And that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Like, that's okay. That's your opinion. I'm just telling you my opinion. In my opinion, I'm not that bothered about the privacy thing because at the end of the day, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm just telling it my day-to-day things. For me, I don't really mind the privacy thing. I think it's worth it. But if you don't, that's absolutely fine. If you have completely different opinions to me, that's absolutely fine. Another reported con is that ChatGPT may provide inaccurate or misleading advice, including incorrect diagnosis or inappropriate support, especially given its limited understanding of complex mental health issues. So again, guys, take it with a pinch of salt. Use your own common sense and your own knowledge when you're talking to this chatbot, because at the end of the day, guys, like it's not a human being. It doesn't have feelings or emotions. And we do have to remember that. We just have to be smart when using it. I feel like as long as we know what we're doing when we're using it, like we know, like, don't take its advice completely literally. At the end of the day, use it as an emotional outlet. Yes, you can ask it for advice, but guys, like, use your own minds. You know what I mean? I do feel like that is a problem because people are talking about how people are taking it too literally. And that definitely is an issue. You should never just take what someone says at face value anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if it's a therapist, you need to think for yourself and think, okay, what's best for me? So to be honest, guys, for me, ChatGPT is a great tool. I really do love it. I think that's great for therapy. If you guys disagree, then just let me know, honestly, because I would be very interested to hear your opinions. But my advice is that if you are currently struggling and you don't have anyone to actually talk to, like, yeah, you might be watching things and listening to things like this to help you motivate yourself, but you don't actually have anyone in your life at the moment that you feel like can support you, literally go to ChatGPT and talk to ChatGPT about it. Guys, if you actually are struggling with a mental health issue, please reach out to a medical professional. Obviously, guys, it's not a human being. It doesn't have a license. It's just a bit of a tool. That's it. That's all it is. Don't take it too literally. Don't take it too seriously, okay? But for me, I do quite like it, and it does help me personally. So thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. My name is Natasha Belva, and this is Becoming Cat Anyways.